My name is Sarah Fairhall and I'm one of the GP registrar mentors with GMT. I'm also a paediatric registrar at the Cairns Hospital, and so I specifically mentor the registrars that are undertaking an advanced skill in paediatrics. I then moved to Hervey Bay and actually did an advanced skills year in anaesthetics, and then I moved out to Longreach and I spent 2.5 years there and completed my ACROM fellowship. But halfway through last year, I got the opportunity to come back and do a second advanced skill in paediatrics in Cairns. My time in paediatrics has definitely made me a better doctor. It's provided me with so much more experience, so much more confidence, so much more knowledge to deal with paediatric patients. And I think for anyone that's going to do general practice, you're going to see kids and you're going to need to have that confidence and that ability to tease things out, get to know them and get to know their families. I feel like I've gained so much more than just knowledge and skills. I feel like I've become a better teacher through explaining things to parents and carers more so than I probably would do with adult patients. I feel like I've become a better communicator. There's so many more people involved in the care of paediatric patients, both in health and with the patient's family. To complete an advanced skills training year in paediatrics, you obviously need to love kids. You need to be willing to get down on the ground and play with them, and you need to spend extra time developing a rapport with the kids. They're shy, they're scared, and it just takes that little bit more effort. You've also got to spend a bit more time developing a rapport with your family. Kids come with a bit of a unit, whereas a lot of our adult patients only come alone, and so that's something that you need to be willing and able to do. For registrars training towards an ACROM fellowship, it's a mandatory requirement that they complete an advanced skill in a particular discipline. And for RACGP registrars, they only need to do an advanced skill if they're training towards FAR GP, or the Fellowship of Advanced Rural General Practice. For both colleges, the training requirement is essentially 12 months full-time equivalent. Most people prefer, and it's easier to complete that in one 12-month full-time block, but there are opportunities for part-time work and extending it depending on where you're working and what your circumstances are and that kind of thing. Registrars wanting to do an advanced skills year in paediatrics generally apply through the RMO campaign, and that opens every year in about June. Around the same time, GMT usually put out a list of the available places for training. I would recommend, however, for registrars that are wanting to do paediatric training, that they approach the hospitals that they're interested in working with and see what those departments can offer them in terms of experiences and exposure. In terms of assessment and load and preparing, it's really, you can put as much or as little effort into it as you like, which is like anything. But for those that are doing the Diploma of Child Health, which is mandatory for RACGP registrars and strongly recommended for ACROM registrars, you kind of got to be pretty committed to the 3 lectures that come out every week, because it's very easy to get behind and quite difficult to catch up. I didn't find the assessment requirements particularly onerous when I went through, but I would encourage registrars to kind of use, for any discipline, to use that 12 months just to focus on that area and not take on any additional study requirements. If you have your heart set on being a hospital-based rural generalist, then paediatric experience in managing sick kids and performing procedures is going to be completely invaluable. My one caution would be for people that plan on working in a hospital that offers a birthing service, I would kind of scout them out a little bit beforehand. Some of the rural centres that are small and offer birthing services don't always have the capacity to employ people that can't contribute to their birthing service in terms of an on-call roster, but then some places can. So if you've got somewhere set in mind, I would kind of ask them if that's something they would be able to employ someone with a paediatric skill. For those that are going to work in smaller hospitals that don't have birthing services, or for those that plan to work in general practice, paediatric patients turn up every day and your skills are going to be completely attractive and valuable to you. With paediatrics in particular, I think it's reasonably easy. Paediatric patients turn up every day. You're going to be constantly exposed to kids and their health issues, and so on a day-to-day basis, you're going to kind of keep your finger in that pie. Paediatric skills training, I find, is just like general practice wrapped up in smaller patients. You should expect that it's incredibly diverse and has the same breadth of presentations from all different specialties that the adult population has. You should expect that it's incredibly interesting and rewarding. So I've always had a special interest in paediatrics and in paediatric medicine in general, and all throughout my professional career I've had this uncanny knack for attracting really sick kids. So doing extra training and getting more comfortable with paediatric medicine just really made sense to me, and I really enjoy it. So being a paediatric registrar has been really rewarding, and so has made my professional career much more rich. I feel that I'm much better as a doctor and better at recognising that kind of holistic care of the paediatric patient. Not that I think I was bad at it before, but there's just so many more aspects and so many more facets in paediatric medicine beyond just the patient. Not only is it never boring, but kids don't come with hidden agendas or ulterior motives. What you see is what you get with kids. And when they get better and they thank you with their youthful exuberance or their grins with missing teeth, it's just the best reward and the most, the biggest sense of achievement and satisfaction that I've experienced as a doctor.